Okay, I'm delighted to be joined now by former Ireland footballer Clare Shine ahead of this year's Darkness into Light, the annual fundraising event organised by Pieta and supported by Electric Ireland, which takes place this Saturday, May 6th. Each year, Darkness into Light helps raise essential funds and enables Pieta to continue providing free of charge suicide prevention, intervention, and bereavement support to people of all ages across Ireland. Clare, delighted you're here. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Thank you for having me on.
It's always,
Um,
always a pleasure.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Tell us, Claire, talk to me a little bit about Darkness into Light, and for people who might not know what it is, can you explain the concept to us?
Yeah, so it's basically a gathering, of hundreds of people. And the concept is to start walking in the dark, and then, as the hours pass, that it starts to become light. And I think that's a massive context for people to know that, you're not always in the dark. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, and I think that's massive. It's been a huge occasion over the last number of years, and I think it's a massive eye opener for people, to come together and then to do this walk with loved ones, and yeah, it's just huge, for myself included, as someone who has been to Pieta House. It's just it's hard to put into words sometimes when you're at these walks, because you just see a sea of yellow, no matter where you are. And I think it's just massive for people to know that, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. And yeah, it's a massive occasion, and I'm really looking forward to the walk on Saturday.
Yeah, and they're massive community events as well. I know up in Watergrass Hill where I live, it's gotten bigger and bigger each year, which is fantastic to see. And it's important to raise awareness, Claire, just about a very, very important issue.
Yeah, of course. And these are topics that people don't want to talk about. And I'll never shy away from talking about my mental health, and hoping that, one person that needs it will be listening. I think it's the topic is becoming a lot more known over the last number of years, especially with lockdown and things, and people are seem to be struggling significantly. And it is a lonely road at the start, but just know that you're not alone, and there's a lot of people out there who support you and who love you, and for you to realize that is part of the process of finding that light at the end of the tunnel. And for me, I think over the last number of years, I've had my highs and my lows, and um to have that support network, and knowing that I'm not alone and there's other people out there who feel the exact same way, it was massive in my recovery, and in the process of me being where I am today. And I think it's huge for people to know that, Pieta House are a massive charity, and they helped me along the way as well, and to be able to have somewhere like Pieta locally to go and to get that support is massive. And I hope to see a lot of people on Saturday support the cause.
And Claire, as you mentioned, you've used Pieta House in the past. How difficult is it, I suppose, to make that first step? And I suppose for people who need to take that first step but are afraid to, what's your advice for them?
Do it. You know, I know it's easier said than done, and I know I've been there, and I know I struggled for a long number of or for a number of years before I ever got help. But it's the best decision you'll ever do. Not only will you, come out the other side, but you'll learn a lot about yourself as well in the process, and you'll build that awareness to your mental health and to your well-being, and knowing your triggers and what's good for you and what's not good for you. And I think that's important for people. I think, going through that process at the start, it is a lonely road, but it's definitely worth it. And especially, when you do come out the other end, all those tears and those hard conversations are worth it. And I think that's massive, for people who think, that there's no way out. There certainly is a way out, and it takes is just one conversation with someone to kickstart your recovery process. And yeah, that's what it took for me, and it's been a massive whirlwind,
Mhm.
full of highs and lows, but you get your rewards at the end of the day, and to be able go outside and to have a smile on my face is one of the biggest accomplishments, and it's something that I'm always grateful for.
And you laid it all bare in your book as well, Claire, Scoring Goals in the Dark, which is just an incredible read. I would imagine people have said to you that it's been a massive help to them.
Yeah, it has. I've got a lot of positive feedback from it, which is great, and I've got a lot of messages, through email and social media, about how much the book has helped people, and that was my goal when I set out to write the book, was to help as many people as I can. I know my journey is a lot different to a lot of people, but there's certain periods in my journey that resonate with a lot of people as well. And just to build the awareness and I wanted it to be as raw and as real as possible. And I know a lot of it is quite hard to read, especially for people closest to me, but it's conversation that needs to be had. There's hundreds of people going through tough times at the moment, and for them to know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully they can get that from my book as well, and that was the main goal. And you know hopefully more people are starting to reach out.
And you recently kind of, I suppose, did a piece with us in Cork RedFM as well with Valerie Mulcahy on the Hear Me Roar project. How did you find that and work with Valerie and I suppose talking about your story as opposed to writing it down?
Yeah, I know, I'm always good at writing things down, and when it comes to it, I am well able to talk, which is good. I found my voice eventually. But yeah, of course, it is difficult, and some days are better than others. Don't get me wrong. Um, I'm able, I'm in good spirits today, so I'm well able to talk about it. But there's some days where I find it very hard. And um I'm someone who likes to talk about it for the reason that I know it will help somebody else. As much as it is difficult to talk about these topics, they need to be spoke about.
Mhm.
So I enjoy it, for the most part. Especially when I'm in good spirits, and I know that me talking about it will help a lot of people. But yeah, definitely there is times where I want to curl up in a ball and
Yeah.
just sit in a dark room for a couple of hours, which is something that does help me. And that's something that I've learned as well along the way. I can't be happy 24 hours of the day. Um, and that's okay, and that's normal. And a lot of people think, a bad day, it's not the end of the world. It may seem it at the time, but there's always a sunrise, there's always the next day, and there's always the light at the end of the tunnel.
I think during a chat with Valerie, you said stepping away from football was kind of almost a weight off her shoulders. Do you still feel like that now, or do you miss football, or are you happy with your decision?
I'm happy with my decision. Funnily enough, I feel closer to football than I ever did when I was playing. I'm doing a bit of commentary, for the women's national team, and I was at the Emirates on Monday. I was in the crowd of the 60,000 people that went to watch, and they were moments that I was never able to do when I was playing, because I was always training or playing games myself. So to be able to have that opportunity to go and to support the Gunners, as I'm a Gunner myself. But to watch Katie McCabe, captain her side in front of 60,000 people in the semi-final of the Champions League was mind blowing, and it was unbelievable. And I'll cherish these moments as well, as much as I can. And being a fan is actually really fun. I have my flights booked to Australia as well to go see the Women's World Cup. So I have a lot coming up, and a lot of things that are all sport related.
Mm.
So my love for sport will always be there, and to be able to be a fan is massive, and I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. And you must have gotten a few people coming up to you going, actually, you come up and play with us there. Come on, we'll put an event.
Yeah. Oh yeah, anyone I bumped into, they're always asking me, am I doing something, or will I come back and play? But no, unfortunately, I'm enjoying life away from sport at the moment, and I'm back in the gym and doing a bit just for my own sake, more than anything, and for my mind and my well-being and all the rest of it. Which has been enjoyable, and I'm enjoying it. So yeah, as I said, I'll be keeping the boots in the box for
So you won't,
another while.
As you mentioned, you're heading off to Australia to support the girls in green this summer. How exciting is that, and just how big a moment is it going to be for Irish football to see Ireland at a World Cup?
It's massive. I think about it every morning when I wake up. I'm not joking. It's going to be unbelievable, and the fact that it's in, you know, and I think it's an 82,000
Mm,
stadium,
yeah, something
and as
ridiculous.
far as I know, tickets are absolute gold dust. So it's going to be huge. It's the opening game of the Women's World Cup. It's the first time we're in a major tournament. You know, there's going to be a sea of green, as far as I'm aware. And it's just something that I'm really, really looking forward to. You know, I know how much the girls have worked for this. And I know the significance of the tournament and the game and all the rest. But I know they're preparing as much as they can, and they're preparing the best way that they can. And you know, I want to wrap all the girls up in cling film so none of them get injured, and they can all be on the plane going to Australia. But yeah, it's not that far away. I think my flight's in like 68 days. Not that I'm counting down or
I was
anything,
going to
but
say,
yeah, I'm so looking forward to it.
and for us in Cork, I suppose, to have Denise and to have Megan in the squad as well is massive.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, Saoirse as well on the fringes. You know, it's going to be difficult for people to make the squad, and for those who don't make the squad, you know, it's comes back to that cycle again of the disappointments and the expectations and the pressures of trying to perform to get on that plane to Australia. So a lot's going to be involved in that, and you know, I hope the girls who don't make the squad are getting the support that they need, because you know, they've worked so hard, they've worked their whole lives to get to this point, and to be let down just at the last hurdle is something that they're gonna, you know, struggle with, and I hope that they do get the support that they need, along with the girls who are on the flight. You know, they've worked so hard to get onto that plane, and to be involved in the World Cup in Ireland's first major tournament is unbelievable. So yeah, you know, it's gonna be an interesting couple of weeks. They
Mhm.
have two big games coming up as well. So yeah, it's going to be exciting, and yeah, it's going to be here sooner rather than later, and yeah, we'll be packing the bags ready to go.
And no reason at all why they can't cause a few shocks and make the world sit up and take notice.
Oh, definitely. You know, Irish, we're always the underdogs. We're always raring to go. We've proved that against the USA last month as well, that we can put it up to the world champions, and that we can, you know, compete with these teams, and anything can happen in football. We've seen that over the last number of years, so we're going to be prepared. We're going to be ready, and I know the girls will give 100% on the pitch. So, yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Claire, as always, an absolute pleasure talking to you. Darkness into Light happens this week. You can get more information, darknessintolight.ie for Pieta House. Claire, thanks very much for joining us on the Big Red Bench.
Thanks a million. Thank you.